Sanya over there on web.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, so that's my friend Sanya over there on webcam. The hotel we were meant to be at only booked us in for tomorrow instead of tonight and tomorrow, and so instead we have ended up in a £160 a night luxury place. So you come in, wardrobe, there's my coat, over there, little cubby hole, make your cup of tea, hotel safe up there. I just find a light switch. There's the bathroom, won't dwell on that too much. Couldn't work the telly when I first came in because I discovered you have to put a card in by the door. Here's the laptop, which I eventually got connected to the internet, and there's my friend Sanya. Say hello.
Hello.
All well lit. There's another mirror. Biggest telly I've ever had in a hotel room. The biggest bed I've ever had in a hotel room. Really, biggest room I've ever been in a hotel, and unfortunately it's getting dark now. It's even nice to look at outside. There's a fountain in the distance. So there you are. That's the good news. Bad news is I'm only here for one night, so gonna make the most of it. And I've already done a test on this internet connection. I'm getting 3 megabits per second, I think it was, which is faster than at home, and that's the download rate. The upload rate, 600k a second upload rate in here. I am so going to take some photos and videos. This video, I'll make it a bit smaller. I'll turn it into a DivX and I'll stick it up on somewhere like YouTube or whatever. So that's day one. I wasn't even planning on doing a vlog or anything. I'll get Sanya looking a little more healthy. It doesn't like screens, clearly, but oh, there you are. Here's me, Chester. There's Essex. A wonder of the internet. So this is Tim signing off for now. Say bye, Sanya.
Bye.
Well, we're now on our way to the Cavern Club. There's Paul. I won't distract him. And we've actually got a gap in the rain, so let's hope that stays with us. Well, we've just taken a slight detour because Paul had a red light coming on telling us we were very low on petrol, so we're now filling up at a total garage found for us by my ever useful Garmin GPS system. Well, it was a bit of a wild goose chase to get here. I can breathe a sigh of relief. We've got a full tank of petrol again, and then we'll start heading back towards the Cavern Club.
Just that, obviously I've got to get the dog and then I've got to have these babies, some babies got to have these babies, not actually unload and stuff. Not done and then I'm stressed about this.
Just didn't expect this to be something else. It sounded like the guy on the tape, so you know. Don't go for the progress this way. You might have Roy. Who would be?
I'm talking about food.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go in. Take one of the dogs and fire around town again. That's what you
to take a rest. Dr. Who will be off the air for 18 months.
Host, the very excited Eric Egerton.
There you go. How is everybody? Tap house, eh? We all awake? Yeah. Right, big cheer. Say good morning. Good morning. Right, we're all awake. Right, who at the Cavern 3, our third and final event? Oh. Who's coming to the after show party? There's a couple. I was just wondering who'd be sorting me out with drinks later. I'm the pint, moving on to vodka later in the night. Right, okay, well I'm going to introduce you to our MC for the afternoon, I should say, or the morning as it is now. I'm all flustered. We all know who's coming. We all know I'm all flustered.
Peter again.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it together. Right, okay, I'm going to introduce the award-winning comedian currently on tour with Moth's 8 My Doctor Who star. Right, Mr. Toby Hadoke.
Hello. She's not leaving today until she marries Peter Davison, so... but it's nice to be here in Liverpool. thought I'd say that. And we're here at the Cavern Club, obviously, which is, of course, famous for the Beatles, who are best known in this country for appearing in episode 1 of The Chase. That's what it says on their Wikipedia entry. That's what happens when you give Doctor Who fans access to the internet, to sort of announce about protocol and what we're doing. Apparently there were a few complaints last year that the dealers' tables got a bit noisy when people were on stage, and you know what Doctor Who fans like when they complain. It made the unit dating scandal seem like a minor scandal. So if you are buying stuff, please do so sotto voce, so that people can enjoy what's happening on the stage. Nice to see we've got some of the younger generation. Hello, what's your name? Don't worry, it's not frightening here. Hello, mate, how are you? And you've got a Dalek t-shirt. How old are you, do you mind me asking? 10. Fantastic. I was it was my son's birthday. Please don't mention last night's episode of Doctor Who. Oh. Because I have people who organise my life for me at the moment, and I said, look, it's my son's birthday yesterday, doing this Doctor Who convention today, and I've got to get the train from Manchester to Liverpool, and they kindly booked me one at 6:30. And I said, yeah, you know how this whole tour I'm doing is about my love for Doctor Who? Do you think that's perhaps the wrong time to book the train? And he said the fatal words, well, you can always watch it on BBC iPlayer. It's not the same! So I won't be seeing The Poison Sky till Monday, so, the toilets at the back for the gents aren't working, of course. There's no water in them, so you can use them if you want, but probably won't be much fun. So gents, if you could use the toilets up there, I think those are the only two. Smoking, of course, is not allowed. Do we have any smokers in?
Yeah.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I will be joining you outside. The good thing about the smoking ban is I now have no fear of lung cancer, because I shall catch pneumonia. So yeah, but I love the way people get quite cross about the when it first came in and I was first outside having it. Don't smoke, by the way, it's not cool. This is your future, by the way. I'm so sorry. I love the way, because we're so good at complaining, and I went outside and this woman smoking away going, this is terrible, this smoking ban, it's like Nazi Germany. Yes, of course you've read any books about Nazi Germany. In case you'll find it's quite different. But we have a host of guests today, but we are under orders to get Eric Egerton to Peter Davison if possible. And don't worry, when the guests come on, the guests will all be interviewed by people, then we'll open floor and do ask them questions, but please not what's your favourite story or what's it like in space. So far on both of those two. So I think we'll start with an illustrious guest who's turned up very early this morning, and I can't think of a better way to start with a man who didn't like the golden age on screen, but he's from a golden age of Doctor Who. Did you see what I did there? That was amazing. Girls versus boys. Once you come to me with your comedy claps, your comedy cheers, and your comedy stamping on the feet, just so that we make the guests feel very welcome. So we'll start with the boys. On a count of 3, boys, 1, 2, 3, make some noise. I know you've got long hair, sir, but you could join in. And ladies, on a count of 3, 1, 2, 3, make some noise. I'm going to take that for my benefit. So without further ado, a great guest from a classic period of the show. Please, boys and girls, together at the same time, please welcome on the stage Captain My Kids, Mr. Richard Franklin. Apparently that wasn't good enough. Yeah, so more gusto, please. Just imagine the unit dating thing has been sorted and we're all happy. All that sort of response. So on the count of 3, boys and girls together, make it a big one for Mr. Richard Franklin!
Slug. That means you can really... Good, we're going to have a nice time together, I hope. Yeah. Can't hear you.
Heckles already.
I'm sure you could really get
Just what do you think you're up to, Benson?
I was just checking, sir.
Yes, well, I want you to go and check on number 3 patrol. Move, Sergeant Benson.
Sir.
Joe, how thoughtful.
That wasn't very kind of you.
R.H.I.P., Joe. Rank has its privileges.
Thank you.
That was supposed to be funny. Rather enjoyed that. RHIP. Good, well, how are you all then? A lot of you here, it's wonderful. See you all even standing. Well, I suppose somebody asked me a question.
Well, no, we'll throw it open to the audience in a minute. Well, let's get the ones out of the way. We'll do a quick. What's your favourite story?
I'm not answering that question.
It's interesting because in this age of DVD, in the past you've sort of had to talk about Doctor Who abstractly and from memory, but now what's it like actually seeing it, watching it along and having to talk about the minutiae as you see it? Has that been quite strange, readers, sort of being not forced, but having to re-watch? How do you find they stand up, and how do you find looking at your past self?
Nobody's forced me to do anything at all. I enjoy watching. It brings back very happy memories, actually. I mean, I was on it for quite a long time. It's over a period of 3.5 years. The show was off the air for 10 years, was it? And it had a great image. And you can't just repeat what was done 10 years before. You've got to bring it up to date. I think they've brought it up to date, but they've kept so many of the essential elements that made Doctor Who really popular. And that's quite a clever bit of writing, I think. I'm just waiting for them to ask me back.
Which I assume you would do like a shot.
Well, if the money's right. The people they were appealing to were, in fact, yes, lots of kids, but also young adults as well. It was very much sort of university level. In fact, this is why I was brought on as love interest with Katie Manning, specifically to appeal to that age group, sort of the young adult age group. And we became, sort of started to become cult then. In our ratings were even higher than they are today. We had about 12 million. We peaked at 12 million in one point. Which is an awful lot of people. And I mean, all these years later, I still get letters. A trickle, but I still get letters from people.
And you were brought in as a love interest, but that love never blossomed. Is that a constant source of disappointment?
It didn't blossom on the stage, but it's a lasting friendship. I mean, Katie is a very great friend of mine, and we're always pleased to see each other. But she lives in Australia, and I live in York, so that's not cool for an ongoing relationship. Anyway, she has her own arrangements. But John's poetry was thought that it destroyed the focus from the Doctor and the girl relationship, which was considered more important. And he's probably right. You have too many other storylines going on. We distract from the main one. But it was a shame, because I think my character could have gone even further. But I was very pleased to play Mike Yates, because it was very much a three-dimensional character, even on the material that I had.
Well, he underwent genuine character development, and this would be interesting to see your take on it, because you're very interested in politics as well. The fact that Yates was a traitor, yet an idealistic one, which is quite unusual for a sort of hero of a children's television programme at that time.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I mean, in fact, I think the whole programme was interested in politics. It was very liberal at the time. And on the Green Death, you may remember there was a man in a suit who picked up the phone and answered a call from somebody called Jeremy. Yes, Prime Minister. No, Prime Minister. Yes, Jeremy. And it was at the time when Jeremy Thorpe, who was leader of the Liberal Party, was thought to be in a position to actually for the Liberal Party to take over government, and that Jeremy Thorpe would be Prime Minister.
So suggesting that was the world in a few years hence.
Yeah, and
we've solved the unit dating problem. Good. I'm glad we've done that.
Katie, for instance, I mean, she gave me a book when she left about sort of eating grass or something. I mean grass, and she ran off, if you remember, with a professor of mushroom culture.
And a very sort of ecological, I mean, it's a story now that could play
very much.
with as much relevance now as then.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, were you as interested in politics then as you were now? Has that always been a fascination?
Yes, no, I've always been interested in politics. I was interested in politics at Oxford. But a few years after leaving, I actually became actively interested because I saw that one of the things that was wrong in this country was that the Parliament needed reforming, and that basically MPs were losing their independence and their independent voice. And so I've been on about parliamentary reform ever since then. Now a lot of people talk about it and they do nothing. Management of BBC actually sent us a note once because he thought comedy was going too far, which it wasn't. He just didn't have any sense of humour. And the note said there is no humour in sci-fi. But actually that is just so absolutely wrong, because the most serious thing, at the most serious moments in life, there's always comedy to be found, and it's essential that you do find it because it gives that contrast, that three-dimensional effect. There's a saying in theatre, comedy is a very serious business, and this is the other side of the coin. If you're doing a farce, for example, wild, crazy, physical, farcical comedy, the mistake that a lot of amateur companies make is trying to be funny, and you just are not, and you will never get a laugh. What you have to do is to take these situations terribly seriously, and it's when the characters take themselves very seriously and then slip on a banana skin and land on their bottom that you laugh. So comedy, on the whole, has to be taken, the premises on which it is based have to be taken very seriously, but there's always humour to be found in the most serious situation.
Well, conversely, your first story had questions raised in the Houses of Parliament about levels of violence. So do you, as a purveyor of entertainment, feel that Sherlock Doctor Who has a responsibility to not, or indeed to actively, scare children?
No, I think it's absolutely right. I think that there's a great deal of irresponsibility in television, video games and films now. Yes, I mean, I admit it myself. I mean, I love to see an action film, and more gory and what have you it is. You know, I watch. Probably if there were a road accident, we'd probably all go and have a look. But I think it's a side of human nature that we really have to control. And unfortunately, your threshold, your tolerance of violence and bad behaviour and evil, unfortunately, lowers the more you see it. And this, I think, I think it was right that questions should have been asked. For those of you who don't know what it was about, it was John and Joe Grant, the Doctor and Joe Grant, were rescued from an awful situation in a police car, and they were driven off to safety. They get to a fork in the road, and the car takes the wrong fork. John, the doctor, taps the driver, the police driver, on the shoulder and says, "Hey, you've gone the wrong way, you should go the other way." The driver looks round and peels his face off. And that was the subject of the parliamentary question, because it said it undermined children's confidence in authority, which I think they actually have a point. Thank you very much. That talk all got rather serious, and I don't know why, because there's a lot of laughter to be had in that. Maybe we'll discover it when we meet later. I meet a lot of you and talk, and if there are things that you either didn't think of asking or thought I might bite your head off if you did, you can ask me them later. Happy to answer. Right, now then, what have we got here?
The limited edition.
This is...
There's only 100 of those, and that's number 16.
Yes, made by a company whose name I've forgotten, who do crystal stuff. I don't know whether you can see this, but there's a most lovely TARDIS in the middle of this paperweight, which is really heavy. It'll be a practical paperweight. Now, goodness knows what these cost, but I should think they're probably very expensive if you have to buy them, especially a limited edition. So is there anyone here who would like to give me an initial offer on this? I mean, let's start rather low, shall we? Should we start at £5? It's got to be worth £5 to it in anybody's money. So let's go up in pounds to start with. £6 anyway.
Can we just point out that it also comes with a
£6 in the front.
It also comes with a...
Also comes with a key ring.
Oh, it's the same lot, that.
All the same.
Oh, it's the same lot. My goodness me. Well, yeah, we've started at a figure. The gentleman in the front is offered £6, and he also gets... Oh, isn't that lovely? That's really nice. It's exactly the same as this, only much, much smaller. The little child is engraved in the middle. Very elegant. Very elegant. Do I hear 7 somewhere? At the back there. £7. £8. £8. £9 anywhere? £9 in the front. £10. £10 in the front. Lady in the front, £11. Lady at the back there. £12 anywhere? £12. £12, second row. £13. Thank you very much. So 14 in it, 14 on the left. £15 in front. £16 anywhere. £16. 16, 17, £20 at the back. Can you wave, sir? Okay. I can't see your face, but I can see a hand. That's lovely. £20 at the back on the right. £21 anywhere. £21. £21 in the second row. £22. That's only £11 each. But you've got to buy them both. £22 anywhere. £22 anywhere. Please, yes, in the front. Good. £23, do I see? 23, I do a nod. £24, sir. 24, 25, the man's against you. Can't let the man win. £26. £26? £26. £26 in the second row, very good. Right, it's the gladiators. £27 in the front, 27, very lucky number, 28's better. Is that a nod? It was. It was. Okay, £29. We're nearly at 30. £29, £29, £30, thank you very much. Can't let the woman win, £31. £31, battle of the sexes. Very winning. Good. £36, £37. Oh, where have I got to?
Inflation.
Yes. Where have I got to?
31.
31, I can't count. £32 anyway. £32. There's a lady moving over there. No, she's just alive, that's all right. £32. £32. Who got it? Oh, he hasn't got it yet. This gentleman's on £32. Are you going to let the men win? Well, £33 then. Thank you very much. £33. Very good indeed. But mathematics was never my strong point, actually. I forgot to tell you this beforehand. I can't count and I can't add.
Raise a few extra quid.
Yes, okay. £33. Who's going to give me £34?
34?
Where? 34. A little hesitant, but doing very well. You don't need to wave twice. Or did you want to pay 35? No, £34. £34. I think that this lady's going to come back in at 35. You don't have to speak. You do nod it. 35. Oh, that's that way, nod. Okay. 35. £35 at the back, maybe? The man with no face and a dark hand? No. Okay. £34 it is. No increase, £34.50. No one is prepared to pay £34.50. £35. £34.50. Where are you? Yes, it's the man with no face. £35. 50 pence. There we are, £35. Any advance on £35? I think we're doing rather well, and I think that's I still think it's good value at the price. So, going at £35 to the gentleman in the second row. First time, second time. Sold. Thank you very much. They're very nice indeed.
Right, well, from the old days, right. Being replaced by Charlie Ross, because otherwise the sets would be flying back. So we've got an excellent comedian who's a great friend to this event. He emceed it last year. Please don't compare the two of us. It won't do our egos any good. Please welcome on the stage, to come all the way from Scotland today. Please make him feel very welcome. He's been in Big British as well, so he's kind of proper. Please give it up for the wonderful comic, Mr. Charlie Ross. Thank you, Toby. Are we doing okay?
Oh, this is busy, that's great. Well, yes, I'd like like what Toby said, introduction, 3 good-looking guys and me. See you later. But yeah, we have 3 extraordinarily good-looking guys and extraordinarily talented guys coming out. So in no particular order, please welcome Anthony Lewis from Dorset, Ben Wrighton, and Paul Mark Davis. So, I've only got the one microphone, but just sharing it between the 3. Do it? No, you're all trained actors anyway, you could... And I'm the action project. So, how are we? Since you've got the microphone, Anthony... Oh, well, let's be passed on the pen.
Very cleverly passed it over.
Yeah. How are things these days? What are you busy at?
I'm alright, thank you, yeah. Been steady away. I'm sort of doing the typical little actors resting period and most actors like...
Just started filming a movie called The Sleeper, which is a little bit Shaun of the Dead, but a bit funnier. Wrote by an absolute loon bag history teacher who turned psycho. And about to start an opera at the Royal Opera House.
That's a bit cool. What's the opera?
Don Carlo.
Cool, excellent. Is it a big part?
Well, yeah, I'm on for most of it.
Excellent, superb. That's really exciting, that's really cool. So did any of you guys think when you took, I mean, for an actor, you get a job, you do the job, did you think that doing this particular job, did you know it would lead to things like this? Doing things like this?
I'm holding the microphone, so I'll start.
Yeah, we can do that, so, in sweeps.
I had not a damn clue. I really, and still sort of find myself kind of sat here thinking, oh my God, this is great. And it's, it is.